Hi everyone, Professor August here, and in this video we'll be covering Uzbek consonants re, re, and re. These are three consonants that are often difficult for English speakers to pronounce, but as we go through our examples, you'll see that they're quite easy to master, and these are really important consonants because they do appear quite often in the Uzbek language. So the first consonant we're looking at is re. This is the Q in Uzbek, and in English, we often tend to soften the Q or just pronounce it as a C or a K, like K, Q. But in Uzbek, you're going to tighten those throat muscles, and it's going to sound a little bit harsher than the way that we pronounce the Q in English. So let's take a look at some examples. Our first example is qulag. Qulag. Now, the way you can do this is to pretend like you're saying the letter G, but constrict the throat muscles so that it's tightened into the G sound. Qulag. This word just means ear. Qanun. Qanun. This word is law, and it pertains to everything from civil law to marriage law, religious law. You'll see it pop up quite often. Qan. Qan. This means blood. Now let's move on to our second consonant, and that is khe. Khe. This is the harsh H sound in Uzbek. So in English, you might see this written out as KH, like in the word Khan, Genghis Khan. In Uzbek, you're going to see it written out as an X. So let's take a look at some examples. Khatin. Khatin. This means wife, and oftentimes you might see this even referring to just a woman. Khalq. Khalq. This means nation. And in this word, you see the X, the Ch sound, and then the Q, the Q sound at the very end. Khalq. And our last example, Khan. Khan. And this just means Khan, like as in Genghis Khan. Our last consonant is Re. Re. This is the consonant that we can probably most equate with the French R. So we don't have this sound in English, but if you were a French speaker, you might be able to pronounce this quite easily. So the word Paris, for example, is Paris. So this is that sound in the middle, the R sound. Now, you'll see that this sound, this letter appears in different ways. Sometimes you'll see it written out as a G with an apostrophe next to it, or you might see it written out as a G with a line over it, or a G with a dot over it. If you see a G with something attached to it, it's the sound re. Now, most often you'll see it written out the way that we have it here on the left side, a G with an apostrophe. Younger generations might write it out with a line over it. Don't be surprised if you see both formats. The reason this is the case is because in recent years, the Uzbek government has been trying to reform its Latin-based alphabet, and so we're starting to see some changes in the way that this particular letter is written out. So let's take a look at some examples. Qagaz. Qagaz. This means paper. And at the beginning of this word, you see the q sound that we covered at the beginning of this video. And in the middle, you see the r sound. Qagaz. Ghaza. Ghaza. This means cotton plant. So you see ghaza in fields. These are the actual plants that we get cotton from. And lastly, ghar. Ghar. This means cave. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. Catch you in the next video.